welcome to Single Black Female New England. I am Angelita Shevins, your host.
And I'm your host, Lolly Marcelin.
And we just want to welcome you again to another episode of us discussing what it is like living and dating in New England.
Indeed.
So
every week we have a disclaimer.
Yes.
And that is, we all want to agree to disagree.
Right.
We want to be open. Don't judge us because we have opinions, but share yours.
Right.
So that we can have an open collaboration.
Yes. And this is really just Lolly and I getting together. It's a really therapeutic way of us just navigating in a region that is sometimes feeling not so fostering and nurturing.
For lack of a better term,
right.
And nurturing, yeah.
Right.
So that's help us. So let's go.
Yeah. So something I was thinking about, and it's not really a word, but more so a term or a phrase. The one that got away. And I'll kick it off. So I was thinking about just the one that got away. And I was like, I really can't think of anyone.
Really though?
I cannot think of a person that I feel got away. And I feel, you know what I'm thinking? I feel like it's more so men who, when you hear the conversation about the one that got away, I feel like it's men that usually it applies to, because I feel like men are always thinking, even if they meet someone like a great woman, a woman that is well-rounded and, things align with them, she's supportive, all those great things, fun, and whatever men look for, which I also heard men are really looking for. They could have attraction, but they're really looking for, and I think it's true for women as well, but not really. I think it's more so true for men. They're looking for women that can fit into their life. So women that, they can bring to their work gatherings and social. Women that will get along with their family and friends. So that men are kind of looking more so into the logistics, right, of how a woman will fit into his life, regardless of how attractive or how connected he may be to her.
I agree.
Where women, I feel, if we just feel that connection, we gonna make them fit.
Yeah, we gonna make them fit.
You gonna like them regardless. If I like them, you gonna love them type thing.
Yeah, that's true.
So I feel like men now, with all of that reasoning going on, are more likely to have the one that get away than say a woman, because I feel like if we meet someone and we feel very strongly about them, that we're going to push and do as much as possible to not let them get away. I don't know. I just was thinking about that. I was like, I wish I could say that, because I definitely would be circling back.
Amazing.
I would. I definitely would be circling back if, like, sometimes you just, it's kind of like if you had that love that you've lost, and I don't think no one got away. How about you?
I have one. I do.
You're so blessed.
Right. And I was a chicken head. Right. You hear this term being a chicken head. Right. I was a chicken head all day, every day. His name was Caldwell.
Ooh.
So
Caldwell, if
you out there from Daytona Beach, he was an entrepreneur. And at the time, I was very young going. Well, I was definitely had been married for a long time at that point, and I was just leaving my first ex-husband. and he was steeped in Bethune-Cookman events. That's kind of what this guy did. And he had his own home. He had his own car. He had a production company. Like, he was doing the thing. And I don't know how I caught his eye and everything. And he wanted to talk to me. And he was like, listen, let's see about making this work. And I'm talking about, I wasn't even fully divorced yet. I was probably maybe another 7 months away from papers being signed. But I had my own place and all that. And I was a chicken head. I played him. Like, I wasn't mature enough. And even though I was married with kids too, I wasn't mature enough to really understand the level he was bringing to the table. I didn't understand Colwell's his whole mindset was, how do we get it? How do we live better as black people? How do I take care of this black queen? You don't got to work. And I was coming off of a marriage where I didn't work. And I didn't want to put myself in that again because of the things I went through in that marriage. So I was hearing things, trying to equate them to who I just left, when this man was nothing like who I just left. And he was also a black American.
Pause. Lolly and I just had a conversation off camera before starting this recording. And it literally sounds like exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
All right, unpause. So I just want you to take a mental note of that. Okay.
You're right. Okay. Right. You're laughing.
Sorry, guys.
It's okay. That's okay. Go ahead. So I just wasn't on Caldwell's level. And sure enough, Caldwell wind up going out to Chicago. He started working on like his own short films and all that. He wound up working with Diddy for a long time, doing productions. Like, he just became the man. And I had literally probably about 4 years ago saw him online. And I'm like, damn, is that the same guy? And I see Bethune-Cookman. I'm like, oh, that's the same guy. And this dude has made a major success out of his life. Been married to a woman who he met at Bethune-Cookman. Okay? So he was definitely the one who I let get away because I wasn't mature enough. I wasn't emotionally available. I just wasn't in the mindset. So Angie is right, because you never really hear women say he was the one that got away. We always hear the other term. But I think there are many women out here like myself who we met someone good, and now we're in our mind, we're trying to be like, damn, how do I? That's the first one.
Damn, you got more?
I forgot about. This gentleman is still connected to me. His name is Carlos Lassiter. Okay. I had to say his first and last name because we were actually engaged. He was a good guy. He had just came off of a divorce. At that time, I had been divorced maybe 6 years, and I met him. We hooked up immediately. He was an entrepreneur. He was the first person to get me into sales, stockbroking sales. He was my manager. He trained me everything. He was a good man, and I cheated on him, and he knew about it. We lived together and everything at the time, and he definitely upgraded me at that point, and I wasn't there, and I hurt him really badly.
Carlos, we are sorry.
Yeah, I told him that he's, he gets it. But you know how it is. You sorry, I get it, but anyway, we still connected on LinkedIn and stuff, and he was a good guy, and he was the one I let get away. Had I been mature enough to deal with him, we would have been multimillionaires together because we had the same entrepreneurial mindset. Like, we were on the same path. So Carlos was another one for me. Those were the two.
That's really encouraging hearing that. It's also a little sad for me because I'm just thinking, like, I think also too for me is that usually when I walk away from someone, it's I don't know if it's because I'm cancer, like my evaluation technique is on stealth mode, you know what I mean? I think people don't realize they're being evaluated because I'm so cool, calm, and collected. But I think what it is that I just kind of allow people to be themselves and watch and see and move. Because I'm a lover at heart, I'm a lover at heart. I'm romantic. I want that commitment or whatever. I'm a loyal person. So for me, if I meet someone and I'm kind of getting to know them, I'm really going to give them the opportunity to be themselves or whatever. So if it doesn't work out or if the alignment is not there, it's almost like I gave it my all. Mm-hmm. So therefore, ain't nobody that got away. It's like we weren't a match or they didn't want me. You know what I'm saying? Like, right. So yeah. But I like that. Because to me it just, I don't know, maybe it's kind of a bad thought to like the fact that you let them get away, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
I did.
Wow.
And I paid for it, yeah.
Thanks for the transparency, but truly, you know what it is? Sometimes you meet people at the wrong time.
You do.
And, for you got married very, very young, so you really was growing up in your first marriage. So, you know what I mean? You didn't have the opportunity to grow and whatever. So, So, that's what it is, so don't beat yourself up about it.
No, I'm not, but I definitely, you always remember when you had somebody good, right? It just doesn't go away. Yeah. So we are on to the next.
Yeah, let's get it. Butt naked. Look, I'm trying to do the rock look. Angie is the awkward black girl. I'm saying, before Issa Rae did her thing, those who know, you know.
Right.
But butt naked. I was just thinking about this and this desire for me, like even when I was just younger, like from being younger, I knew there was something about being able to live authentically 100% who you are. Mm-hmm. There's like freedom in transparency and freedom in just appearing in your natural state, be it natural, wherever you are in your evolution in life, right? And like you just read all of the good books and good movies, and you'd be watching, and you're just like, you watch something where two people, the communication's off because one person's not being clear and transparent. They're not living in their truth with the other person, and if they were living in their truth, it actually would come together and work out well, right? It's literally like life's story. Being able to be butt naked with someone or a few people in your life, and the importance of that, I think, living in, covering yourself, and this is more so an analogy of like when you're hiding aspects of who you are and you're not appearing fully, you're not appearing kind of naked and without any apologies. It is weighty. It leads to depression. It leads to sadness. It leads to isolation. And I'm feeling like in this world where technology has made us all accessible to everyone, really, right?
Right.
But then there are not many people who are living in their truth online or whatever.
Or period, right?
Yeah. And that is exhausting. It is exhausting. Me and you had a conversation earlier this week, and it was just, you were saying how it's just a relief to be able to just be truthful. And I just want to encourage people, y'all, just try to be authentic, man. Try to show your ass.
And vulnerable, right?
Vulnerable.
Authentic and vulnerable.
That's what it is.
Butt naked took me off guard too. She came up with all the words this week. Okay, just FYI, so I'm rolling with the punches. Okay. and if you watch any of our videos, Angie's highly educated but speaks eloquently, very sophisticated. So even these terms she came up with today, I'm like, what? We know.
We needed to write it. It was a heavy week.
It's a heavy week.
It was a heavy week.
Touche.
Heavy week.
So butt naked. And at first I had to hear her start first, and I was like, what
Where's she going?
Where's she going? But I think you hit the nail on the head. Now, if I'm going to take this from two, both physically being butt naked and emotionally being butt naked, right? Because they're two totally different spectrums. Yeah. I have been butt naked in front of men and been so comfortable depending on the man. Right? Literally eating, all of that. Like, yeah, just watching TV, laying up, these kinds of things. Right. And that was someone who I felt that type of closeness with, right?
You could just walk around.
You could just walk around. It was, and we were both that kind of way, right? And there is a freeness to that.
No, it is.
Because there's the letting yourself all out and then feeling like if you're going to judge me, this is
a level of safety.
It's a level of safety, and it has to be with the right person, right? Mm-hmm. So I've been there, and I've been comfortable, and I've been relaxed. But on the other hand, I've been fully dressed around men. And been not relaxed, not comfortable, not wanting and willing to show up authentically. Because you mentioned being authentic and showing up, not willing to let my guard down. Yeah. I've been there too, right? Because I'm trying to, I don't want to get played, or I don't want to tell them too much information. I don't want them to know that much about me yet. Right. And so I've been there. Yeah. And I'm saying to myself, well, I need to take, because it's such a great point, I need to take how I feel when I'm naked in front of a man and take that same freeness into when I'm fully dressed in front of a man that I'm interested in and letting myself be myself. Yeah. And I think especially in New England, because we are, as women of color, and I can't stress this enough, we are judged in New England from the time we walk out the house till we hit the streets or the store. There's so much weight on our shoulders already, and then we need to show up who we are authentically, which the society environment in New England wants you to suppress. We have none of it. When Angie and many of the women that Angie deal with and are close to and went to school with are having none of that, and that's why they probably moved out of New England to really feel free. But even with that being said, it's like it's hard here to be comfortable with who you are and express that comfortability outside with everyone. And you have to make a conscious effort and a conscious decision to do it on a daily basis. Yeah. Because everything around you is telling you, don't be like that, don't dress like that, don't wear your hair like that, don't wear that color like that. When it comes to dating men, a lot of men that we've met here in New England, I don't know if they're just maybe unconsciously, they're not realizing that they're not showing up like their authentic self. If I take Biggie Smalls, asking him a question about, are you 100% single, then showing up to say, no, I'm separated, like, right, thinking that you're going to do something to make me like you so I won't matter to me, that's not showing up as your authentic self, right? If we say that you met someone and everything seems great, right? But the cracks start showing, their speech changes, and so they weren't showing up as their authentic self. Right. And I think we keep showing up as our authentic self, and that authentic self keeps putting men up who haven't got there yet in New England.
Girl, you just hit it. And I think that's what it is. It's just they haven't gotten there yet. Yeah.
And I don't think it's our job to help them get there.
No, absolutely not. Yeah, okay. But what it is our job is to push through and trying to be that emotionally butt naked, the showing up authentic, and vulnerable and as transparent regardless. And I know it's so much easier said than done, because you run the risk of being hurt, you run the risk of whatever. But to be honest with you, right, next year I'm turning 50.
looking.
I want the real thing. You know, I want it 100% real. Like, what is this life? Like, there are too many people that are dying around us. That, you know, it's like, really, we should just be living authentic, and fully, because you never know. Life is very, very fragile. You just never know. So, y'all, show up butt naked. No.
Right, show up butt naked.
Look, I was going to say, don't come to my door, but maybe.
Let's see now while we on this drought.
All right, butt naked. All right, so the next one is, again, more so a phrase than a term, but love bombing.
All right, I want to begin with
this. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. So, me and Angie had a great conversation. It probably was about 2 weeks ago now, right?
Yeah.
Being able to,
because somebody ghosted me.
Somebody ghosted
after
you.
He was coming hard.
First of all, not only after he was coming hard, I'm talking about, we talking daily communication, several times a day. Literally, touch points, everything. Like, okay, and then just one day ghosted. I don't feel like the reason that we're trying to figure out, because you never know when you ghost, was plausible, but we don't know how men think, right? We're trying to understand how men think. So
I just don't think he likes the fact that I like to be out.
But he
didn't give it a chance to know the other side of me, because I'm very much so a homebody. But I am single and free, and I am still in summer mode. The type of job that I have is so heavy.
Yeah.
I love dancing.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna live a full life, y'all.
And I don't think that you need to make an excuse about who you are, what you like to do.
Right.
So we had a conversation about love bombing, right? Because my thing is it really love bombing? So let's talk about it, okay? We keep hearing love bombing is, okay, they doing all this good stuff for you in the beginning. Maybe they call you every day. I miss you. I love you. I want to be with you. I want to spend as much time as I can. They buy you all these gifts. They do all that. Consistent dates. And then they slowly start pulling away, right? And then all of a sudden, boom, it goes to, they went from calling 4 or 5 times a day to maybe calling 1 time a day, right? So these are the scenarios we keep hearing about love bombing. But I posed to Angie the other day, I said, well, maybe, because and then everybody's just love bombing. But then I was like, but maybe it's, they've just gotten to know you more and realized you're not aligned. Maybe it's that. And they're pulling away to say every time they see something they're not aligned with, they give a little bit less. And a little bit less. And I'm wondering if we're seeing more of that versus just the love bombing term. Because I think love bombing is such a wide term as well. I just, and I'm going to take it from my own situation if we talk about Cape Cod. Okay? We communicated every day. We dated for about 90 days. I did see behavior pattern changes in him. But even in myself, I was seeing things in him that I was not attracted to as I thought I would be in the beginning. And I started seeing, we're really not aligned. So when he stopped calling as much, I didn't care. Until I ended it, right? Then I just was like, I'm good, right? But he probably would have kept going on, right? Maybe. But I just... And so he may be thinking I love bombed him, because I literally went from, hey, every morning I miss you, blah, 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 to basically I never really call you anymore in a short period of time. And then I ghosted him for 4 days, and then I called him and said, listen, this is the reason why I don't want to talk anymore. But I don't think I was love bombing him. I think I just saw more about him in which we weren't aligned, and I didn't want to continue.
And that makes perfect sense. I think what is missing is the conversation between the two people.
Let's talk about it.
And maturity would be, right? Maturity would be, as you're noticing, hey, I'm getting a friendship vibe from us. Hey, the way that you communicate doesn't really feel romantic to me, right? Yeah. Conversation versus you coming hard, Case in point, I was little angel.
Yes.
I was dear.
Yes. All of that. Yes. Yeah, dear. Consistently.
Right? And like you start wondering, like, is this person bipolar? You know, and nothing against that. You know, we definitely believe in folks taking care of their mental health or whatever, and
Absolutely.
you know, but it was just that much of a switch. And then, you know, you're like, hold up. This person's asking me my top 5 restaurants and, you know, like, but then there's no movement. Then the conversation towards, like, you're letting me, oh, there are other fish, you know, there are plenty of fish in the sea. And then sometimes it's like, I don't know, I don't know, but I think it is love bombing when there's not a conversation had. When there goes this intense coming at someone really, really hard. And then, boom.
Nothing.
And you just start pulling away. That is love bombing. I mean, you know, it's, and sometimes, because true love bombing it's a distraction from people truly getting to know each other. So it comes on heavy, like they don't really know how to sustain a relationship. They don't really know how to have the mature conversations. They don't know how to deal with things that are uncomfortable. You know what I mean? And so therefore it's this heavy distraction of, oh, you're so beautiful, oh, this and that, and this and that, and this and that. And you can get swept away if you're not grounded in who you are and not swayed by compliments and not swayed by, you know what I mean? Gifts and trinkets and things like that.
Yeah.
And then, and sometimes, I mean, it's a huge form of manipulation, and sometimes it's used towards, you know, trying to control people.
That is correct.
The case is. So.
That is correct.
But, you know, you might be right. And again, is it really love bombing if you're realizing as time goes on that, you know, things don't click really? And again, when you think logistically, men think logistically, and they start thinking maybe this person won't fit in my family lifestyle, in my work lifestyle, in my social lifestyle. But it's simple to just have a conversation, and I know that having those type of conversations are difficult, but it's a lot if you care about a person.
It is.
It's a lot better for you to be honest with the person and say, hey, I really don't think we could blend our entire life. You know, like that's not what I'm seeing. That's less hurtful than someone ghosting you or someone just stop, because then you're left with all these questions.
And I agree, and I think that's why you're equating it to love bombing, because there was no, this is the reason why you shouldn't. And I agree with you on that. Yeah. I can classify that with that.
Yeah.
I can say that,
Yeah.
Say something, right? Like, if you don't want it to be love bombing, then like I did with John, these are the reasons why. Right.
And that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Whatever, you never get that, then Yeah.
Or, I mean, because I've experienced this so much where it truly, I've learned to just let it go, because it's not reflective of me. It's clearly their issue if someone does do it. But as far as, because I'm only responsible for me, I'm very cognizant not to do it to someone else. You know what I mean? So, and I would say, since I've been back in the dating scene, there are 2 people that I kind of took serious. One, we'll call him Mr. Officer. And, I often question, because I go back and forth, I'm often questioning, like, was that love bombing? Because I say it was intense. It was intense. And then, here I was open to give someone
receptive,
very receptive, who totally was not even like who I normally dated, an opportunity, and then poof, like that. I mean, it goes from we doing video night calls.
Right.
And I wake up very early. I'm up at 4:40 every morning trying to go to the gym. I was getting my morning just and then all of a sudden I'm like, listen, I'm going to an after party.
Right.
And nothing.
Yeah, and nothing.
Dead silence. I guess they didn't want me to go to the after party. Oh wow.
Or the lifestyle that you really lived wasn't really their lifestyle. And I have to keep saying that because you do have a dynamic lifestyle. You like to do a lot of things for good reasons. As you elevate in your personal life and your career. And I think that this person that we're talking about, that really wasn't him. He wanted to make it seem like it was him, but the more he realized you had such an eventful life.
Yeah.
It was a challenge for him that he wasn't willing to take on.
Yeah. Fair to say. But communication again.
I agree.
Been said.
It could have.
Right. All right, because we talk about dynamic. We're going to see the Franklin Park Boston Lights.
We are. We'll film out there tonight. Too.
Right. So our last term is tired.
And I'm going to kick this off because I'm tired.
Yeah.
I'm tired. I've had a very emotionally eventful week. And I am an avid tarot subscriber. I am. Like, at one point, I had to wean myself off because I was listening to it every day. I was like, what am I doing? And I never used to listen to tarot until my son passed away and I saw some things, and then my sister passed away, who was an avid believer in it. And there were some things that just could not be explained from everything else that I heard in the religious backgrounds that I grew up in. But I'm tired. So I am emotionally exhausted with dating. And I want to date and I want a serious relationship. But I am emotionally exhausted with dating because I am a person, I'm a Sagittarius. I know yesterday we out here players and all of that, but it's a fact that once we meet someone that we like, we hone in on them, especially when we're already grounded and we know where we're going, we know what we want, and we want other goals. We know, most Sagittarius know we need a partner. That's just how we think. We're free all the time, but once we feel like we need a partner, that is kind of like where our mind is, because we feel like with that partner, we should be able to A, B, C, and D into the next level. And it's not just a financial level, it's just an emotional level, it's a family level. And I have not met many men out here that I saw any of that with, not gonna lie, but I have been open and receptive on dates, and it's been like, you gotta be kidding me, like, I mean, can we at least get past 2 weeks without me seeing this? Like, and no, it's not being picky. It's being conscientious. It's being aware. It's being self-aware. It's being enlightened by the things that people do. And then saying what Angie's saying, like her favorite term is alignment. And I think it is that every step of meeting someone and dating, there has to be an alignment. Right, if that starts off with basic conversation, then we're like, oh, there's many things that we like. Okay. And then it goes into activities. Oh, we like to do these things. Okay. And then it goes into family values and methodologies and ideologies and just all of this stuff that can build a foundation even though we may be different. Right? Their core values are the same. And I'm exhausted in New England because I've met so many immature men who, and I'm calling them immature because they've showed up immature. I'm calling them immature because they've showed up dishonest. I'm the person, if you've watched any of our shows, Andrew would tell you, if you meet me and you're a man, I tell you what I want up front. As soon as you ask me what am I looking for, I'll tell you what, that's what I'm looking for. If that's not the alignment you're at, then just don't call me. Don't try to be curious and just like, okay, she's looking for something serious. I ain't looking for that. Let me move on. Right? I'm good with that. But I've met so many men who try to disguise like they're looking for something serious, but they don't even know what that seriousness looks like because they didn't have it. Didn't have it before. they don't know what serious looks like because they don't have a blueprint where they want to be. So I'm exhausted because men do ask me out, and then I sit with them on the phone for a while, and I can't get out to a date with you because I'm like, what are we talking about? Like, there's no substance here. And as a Sagittarius, my mind has to be stimulated. I get excited, and actually I get aroused when I'm talking to an intellectual because there's brain expansion, which is critical for me because I believe in upward mobility, right? So yeah.
It kind of goes back to, I'm thinking as you're describing some of these men and experiences, and I've just come to the place of allowing people to show up, who they are. And I've been there where it was very tiring for me, but now it's just like whatever type thing, because it goes back to me. I think a lot of people are not showing up butt naked, and real. They're not showing up authentic. You've used this term before. They're fronting.
Big time. They capping.
Capping or just. Maybe they still haven't gotten to that place of self-discovery where they're grounded in who they are. Like, I'm just going to tell you, anyone that is going to date us seriously has to be a very grounded man.
1,000%.
A very grounded man.
1,000%.
And there are a lot of people, even when they talk the lingo, and even when they say they're authentic, even when they say they are proud to be who they are, a lot of times they're not. Because my thing is like, doth protest much. It's more so. It's more so. Show me, than tell me. That part. But when I was thinking tired, when I came up with that, I am just thinking about. There are so many people right now who are exhausted by life. They're exhausted by the everyday. I'm thinking about the people that you told me, both of them in one household, a couple, not having their jobs and, possibly losing their shelter. And, it's like, sometimes life has a way of just showing, giving you these perspectives. And I think it's important to be open-minded and start like, oh man, I can understand why. Listen, for some of you guys who are just like, I ain't gonna say it, but when you're like, to just try in or whatever, because sometimes it is exhausting, and I know, I understand, even though I'm maintaining, it's exhausting.
It's exhausting.
It's exhausting. The winter is coming, and listen, when my oil delivery comes, it's a whole mortgage.
Right, it's a whole mortgage.
And I have to have it monthly because everything in this old home is ran off of it. And it is exhausting. It is exhausting when you're working and it just feels like you're working for survival. For those people who that is not your story, listen, send us your energy.
Yeah, send us your energy.
But for so many, it is. It's like, you're doing so much. I just want to say I understand. It can be very tiring just to stay with it and just to keep on moving and just to keep on trying. And I want to encourage you to, find some balance, like make sure that you're incorporating some type of fun and
we believe once a week.
Absolutely. And this is why, especially now, because I've been there where life was all sacrificial, where I would stay in the house and just ruminate, and what needs to be done and what needs to be taken care of. And then I like I said, like me losing my friend a few weeks ago,
Mm-hmm.
2 young children, and I had just spoken to him a few days before, and just a tragic accident, and he's gone, and like we making plans, or whatever the case is. So when you realize like life is very precious, and you want to make sure you're balancing yourself and making sure that while you're so tired and while you're doing all these things and being responsible, that you make sure you incorporate some fun. You have to make sure you incorporate some fun. Make sure you're laughing. Make sure you're having a good time. Because also, too, I do believe in manifestation, and I feel like the more positive energy you have and the more positivity, the more laughing you do.
Yeah, the more laughing you do.
And we have a good time when we
do.
go out dancing.
We have a great time.
We laugh and crack up. And it's in those moments that you really manifest. And I feel like a lot of times we're tired because we're doing a lot of physical labor where I feel like the most effective labor to do is that mental and emotional labor, and where you're sitting and grounding yourself and centering yourself and finding joy and gratitude.
Right.
And when you align with those things, it actually can change your situation a little bit more. So
I agree, because I think also, which we are heavy about, is at least once a week get out. If it's just being outside, just to be in the streets, to walk around, to be around other people, especially for us who work by themselves. I work by myself all the time. It's critical for me. What I mean with Angie is critical for me. 1, because I enjoy her company, but 2, because I'm with someone, right? Yeah, we want male companionship. Okay, you want out, but until then, right?
But gods and emperors only.
Yeah, gods and emperors only. We don't need knights and princes. We good. But it's like, it's critical to have that outside human interaction, because it does take your drama off of you for a minute. Allows you to understand that this universe is a universe of a world, and there's growing plants and trees, and it does help you say somebody does have it worse than me today, because I could get out and walk. If I still have my car, they ain't repoed it, I can drive it and get where I gotta be. If I still have my job, I can still pay my bills. Right? You need that, especially because in this world, everything is coming at us so quickly, especially women of color.
And with this
don't like us,
right? And just the political climate that we're in, where there's so much
for sure
war and chaos, and it's very important to make sure that you're again having a little bit of joy.
Yeah.
Because that's really what's going to raise the vibration. Focusing on the negative things that are going on, it does nothing but just bring you into a deeper slump. It brings you into the sunken place.
It does. It brings you into the sunken place.
Yeah.
And we will not have that. 0%. So, hey.
All right, I think that concludes it. We're about to go and see the light
show.
I know.
We want to thank you guys once again for joining us.
Yeah.
Again, you can find us on YouTube, SoundCloud, Spotify, Spreaker, Buzzsprout, and 65 other channels. Our channel on YouTube is Society in Motion. We air an episode once a week. It normally airs on Friday. We know that you can be anywhere else in the world, and we're asking for you to spend just a few moments with us and collaborate with us. Let us know how you feel, and let's talk about it.
All right. And then also, too, I want to encourage you to like and subscribe.
Absolutely.
On YouTube. Like and subscribe. Write a comment, even if it's just dropping a heart emoji or a thumbs up. Even if you're just using us as a background noise. Just listen to us, please. We're trying to grow.
Support our channels, $1 or $2 in donation.
Yes, please. Yes, please. Especially oil coming up too. What? Mortgages and stretch marks. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.